Oh, looks like we have two new faces in our midst.
Oh, let me introduce you. These two are Executor and Shirley from District 9. This is...
Hello, I'm Tianlong. Hey, Lyra, why don't you come and say hi?
Greetings, I'm Lyra.
Tianlong is District 7's High Executor and is dispatched on a mission. Ms. Lyra is the current president of the Madeline Foundation.
I'm sorry that my work required me elsewhere.
No, everything happened because of me.
Now that we're all here,
Archon Larson.
I believe everyone here already knows about what happened a few days ago at the Listener Conference. Despite how the puppet singer was destroyed, and the artificial Crystamax was relocated, these concerns are understandable since gray space entity attacks have never happened inside Meroria. If we cannot guarantee Captain Saki Fuwa has doubled the patrols in Meroria, and Lyra will be assisting in upgrading. However, these are but contingencies and responses to an emergency incident. We need... Lin, Captain Saki Fuwa should have already relayed the results of the investigation to you. Would you please explain why you concealed the
Now that the Security Special Forces reports are out, there's nothing more. I concealed it not because I have an agenda or harbor ill will. There are just some things that I feel are not...
Forgive me for being frank, Miss Lin. This thing has profound influences. If we can't work together and solve...
Archon Larson, please let me handle the follow-up to this incident. I promise I'll present a satisfactory...
Lin, I've trusted you, and I'm willing to believe that there is a reason for your act.
Archon Larson is responsible for the safety of the entire city. Please
It spoke Ruby's name. That's the kid who hangs around you. The Security Special Forces have completed their investigation into Ruby's...
Archon Larson, I vouch for Ruby that she's always been a good kid. I'll educate her well and be held responsible for all her actions.
I don't need you to take responsibility. I only want to know what the relationship between that kid and the artificial...
Security alert. All non-combatants, please proceed to the nearest safe zone.
Ruby. Archon Larson, please give the order to lock down all exits immediately.
You have your orders, Captain Saki Fuwa. Don't worry about me.
Captain, that artificial Crystamax suddenly went out of control. We're sending machine guards to suppress it.
That artificial Crystamax again. What's going on with it? Look, the storage vessel for the artificial Crystamax. It's completely shattered. What happened here?
The machine guards couldn't stop it. We have to find Ruby.
The wreckage went through the room ahead.
Captain Saki Fua,
Archon Larson.
take Ruby to the infirmary and keep her safe.
Yes, sir!
Lynn, I need an explanation from you. The artificial Christomax has caused many security incidents. I hope now you can see how this thing doesn't just affect you and Ruby.
Archon Larson, I will give you all the information I have, but I have a request.
You can give me your demands, but I can't promise anything.
I need you to give me your word that you'll assure Ruby's safety after hearing what I... Ruby is not really a human. She's the result of an experiment trying to...
What? Ruby?
An artificial gray space entity.
To a certain extent, yes. Ruby and the artificial gray space entity and the listener testing ground are the... Do you remember who Rubilia is, Archon Larson?
Dr. Rubilia, the first supervisor of Project Listener. That kid is a true genius. If it weren't for the accident, she could have achieved much, and...
An accident?
2 years ago, in a routine collection mission on the surface, Rubilia went missing in a gray space entity attack. Her project was then handed off to Dr. Clive, who used to be her...
Wait. What happened to Dr. Rubilia took place 2 years ago. And then...
Rubilia used her own genetic code to fuse with the gray space entity in the experiment. That...
Using human DNA with that of the gray space entity is directly forbidden by Archon Harunobu. What Dr. Rubilia did was...
Since her father died, Rubilia's been running those forbidden experiments in her secret lab. I put a stop to her experiments and sealed off the lab. Out of many concerns, I didn't make it public.
You mean she didn't go missing because of the gray space entity attack? But it was...
Yes. I only wanted this thing to go away at the time. Rubilia's experiments were too extreme. I didn't know what would happen if they went public, so I let...
If Rubilia really did create a superior abyssant with human intelligence and in human form, but outside of human... Lynn, how many like Ruby are out there? Are there any...
Archon Larson, Ruby is the only test subject left alive. She possesses a human mind. I can assure you that she'll not...
Even if you can prove that Ruby doesn't pose a threat, there's been no change in her situation after she absorbed that artificial Christomax. We cannot be certain. Lynn, Executor, and Shirley, please stay here. I'll decide the next course of action.
Larson, I only wish for Ruby to be treated as a human, not a monster locked up in a cage.
I have my own thoughts on this, but I can assure you that Ruby will be safe. Captain Saki Fua, with me.
Yes.
Ruby is still in a coma. We did a full examination on her, but due to her unique physical conditions, we cannot assess her status using normal human. Dr. Clive is assessing Ruby's situation, but he informed us that it might be difficult to do. Lynn, there must be some research data left behind in Rubilia's...
Yes. Even though I sealed off the lab, I did not destroy the research data. I planned on revealing the whole thing once Project Listener mates.
We're facing a problem, and the redacted data may hold the key to solving it. Only you know the location of the lab, Lynn. I will need you to take a team.
Yes, sir.
I'll send someone to go with you. The safety of Meroria hangs in the balance.
Archon Larson has told me all about it. Miss Lynn, it seems like you've kept quite a number of things from us.
Tianlong, Miss Lyra.
Lynn, long time no see.
Miss Lyra will remain in Meroria to assist us with this investigation. Tianlong will go with you to the restricted experiment zone. Lynn, do not disappoint us again.
Oh, you got Archon Larson so mad?
If you have time to chit-chat, why don't you contribute to planning our next move?
Huh. Looks like we're the ones tasked with this special op. Captain Lin.
Why so serious? We're just investigating an abandoned...
Huh? Archon Larson recalled me for an emergency situation.
Your mission is not just to assist with the investigation, but to keep an eye on me. I...
Miss Lin, that's not a nice thing to say. I'm only here to help.
Miss Lin, what do we have to know about that lab?
There are no security systems installed in the lab, but it holds a great number of gray space entity samples. The samples should either be in stasis or deceased. I have relayed the lab coordinates to you. Make sure you've received them. If there are no further questions,